All right, coming in at number 52 on our Locked On Senators NHL draft rankings, it's a Finn playing in Everett in the WHL. It's Julius Miettinen, a 6'2", 203-pound centerman, and he took a little while to adjust coming over from Europe, but once he did, this guy produced points.
Yep, he certainly produced points, Ross. There's no denying that. In his rookie season with the Everett Silvertips in 66 games, he had 31 goals, 36 assists, good for 67 points. He was great on both ends of the ice, seemingly with a plus minus of 27. And in the playoffs, he chipped in as well. Kind of faded in the second round where they got the Silvertips got swept. And in 9 playoff games, he had 2 goals, 2 assists. And like I mentioned, he's a rookie in the WHL. He finished 3rd in WHL rookie points among the entire WHL. So he was right up there and he made a big splash. And scouts certainly noticed Miettinen with the Silvertips.
And it must have been a nice transition for him, too. He had been playing up a couple years at times. Like, you even go back to when he was 16, playing in U20 for a couple games and playing a handful of games in the U18. So he was always playing up levels. And now to finally be, like, in the mix, even still a younger player in the league. But I feel like for him, it must have been a nice kind of feeling to be able to come over. And I feel like his game, too, just kind of really meshes well with the smaller ice. Big body, can clog up the neutral zone. I do think he does a good job defensively as well, which is something that scouts will love. Maybe not as much as Craig Button, though, because our scouts' range on this guy is incroyable. There's no other way of saying it. 19 for Craig Button and 91 for McKean. So, Pillsy, I'm going to go out on a limb. Maybe we can make a bet on this. I will bet you he goes between 19 and 91.
I think that's a fair assumption, Ross. But that's arguably the biggest range we've seen so far, and probably will be the biggest range we ever see. Yeah, that's a wild range. Now,
I was just gonna say we could just chalk it up, Olympic style, where you take out the top score and the bottom score. But like Pronman's up there with Button. Pronman has him at 26, and then Wheeler has him as an honorable mention, so closer to 91. And then you're like, okay, so he's either like, really late, really early. No, hold the horse. We've got EP at 43 and Bob McKenzie at 59. So it truly is all over the place.
Yeah, that's wild. And I think Button is looking at Miettinen as a long-term good player that has a lot of pro translatable skills. 6'3", 207 pounds. At least that's what I got. Yeah, you got him at 6'2", 6'2", 203.
And we've got all the height weights that are on the cards from the Central Scouting, so it's at least from the same spot.
Ross has measured all these players himself.
Individually.
So if anything is wrong, go to him.
It will be updated after the Central, when they all meet in Buffalo.
True. We'll see if guys are wearing lifts in their shoes and things like that to try to get a little boost here. But I don't think Miettinen needs that, Ross, because if you watch highlights of him, he is an imposing figure. All the highlights I was watching, sometimes if you're watching a guy you haven't seen before, you're like, oh, what number is he? Where is he? No. Miettinen, I was like, there he is. He's very easy to notice. He uses that frame to be a net front presence, and Everett knows that. So his job on the power play, plant your 2 feet right on that red paint right in front of the crease and screen that goalie. That's what he does. And the thing I like about Miettinen, Ross, is he's got good hands in tight too. So let's say the puck hits him or the goalie saves it and he gets a rebound. He's able to have really nice moves in tight, and he's able to finish that play off. There was one play, highlight of the night play for the WHL, where he did the between the legs. The move Brady has been trying so hard to finish. Miettinen did it. I'll be in the WHL, big difference than doing it in the NHL. But he's got some nice moves, but the key thing with Miettinen is his playmaking ability. Every scouting report I saw mentions how they love his playmaking ability. He's creative with finding his teammates. And when you're a big body like that, he uses his frame to protect the puck. And then when he's protecting that puck, usually the defender on him is like, I'm going to need some backup here. Someone else come help me out. I can't get the puck away from him. So he draws more defenders to him. And then what do you do if you're a creative playmaker and you've just opened that ice up? You're going to find a way to hit your open teammate with a nice crisp pass and get some offense going. So there's a lot to like when you're looking at Julius Miettinen.
What did you read about his skating? Is that seemingly an issue? Because when you see big body, like can score, can play make, you wonder, does he have it all? What's his skating like?
I didn't really see too much on whether his skating was good or bad, Ross. I think
me neither. I was just one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think from what I saw, a lot of people say, and this is a classic term, is he skates well for his size, which I don't know if that means he's a good skater or they're just like, this guy's a monster and he's not clunking around out there. So I don't really know.
One thing Corey Pronman mentioned, Pronman calls him an average skater, just says that he's got a powerful stride, wishes that he'd play a bit quicker at times. So pace might be something that if you're going to work on for next year for Miettinen, you just want him to kind of, quicker. We talked about, was it Bouillard or someone who was playing with like give and goes all the time? I would like to see maybe a bit more kind of up the ice, moving the puck and getting his feet moving that way a little bit differently. Because as a projection, you're hoping this guy can be an F1 on the forecheck, kind of create chaos below the goal line. And then once he separates man from puck, be able to pull it out and make plays because the vision's there, the hockey sense is there. Everything you want in a prospect, it's seemingly there. So for me, he's one of the higher ranked players that we've done, the top forward for me so far, including the next one who's one spot ahead, obviously, on our rankings. But I'm pretty high on Miettinen. Now, I wouldn't be advocating for him at 39, but if the Senators saw something in him and decided to take him there, I could probably talk myself into that. But where do you have him on your Sens stars?
So I don't think this is a Sens type player. I feel like they don't typically go for these guys. Although a Finnish guy in the WHL, that's an interesting little twist there. The one thing though, a knock I have on him, Ross, is he doesn't have a great shot. I put in my notes, you're probably not going to see him ripping it from the circle with success. He's got to get in tight or find his teammates that have a good shot. He did start playing center, but never mind. I think did he stay at center or wing? I'm kind of confused.
No, he stayed at center. You're thinking of Adam Yeko.
Okay, yes, yeah. I'm thinking of, spoiler alert, our next prospect. I think he's going to end up being a power forward that's going to be a net front presence. I've got him at 3.5 stars here because, like you, Ross, I see the potential. I see why scouts are bringing him up and rising him in their rankings. But 39, I think, especially with the little research I've done on guys closer to that area, I think there's a little more talent to be had there, and I think it'd be a bit of a reach at 39.
Julius Miettinen comes in at number 52 on our Locked On Senators draft rankings.